Hi, I'm Matt McCullough. I'm the Director of Innovation and Teaching and Learning at Schoolcraft Community Schools. I'm also a fellow with the Collaborative for Student Success and also the treasurer for the Network of Michigan Educators.
Hi, Matt. What, in your opinion, is the difference between project-based learning and just having a project?
Yeah, that's a great question, and oftentimes it gets confused. To me, a project is dessert. So it happens at the end of everything. You know, you front-end load all the learning, and you've taken all the quizzes and tests oftentimes, and then you just do something at the end to show your learning, which isn't bad. But it's definitely different than project-based learning, which is like the preparation, the 5-course meal, how to eat it, the etiquette at the table, and all of the enjoyment of eating it. Project-based learning is all the steps. The learning takes place during the project, not at the project after the learning. For example, if you make a diorama of the Alamo, that's probably a project at the end of all the things you learned about the Alamo. If at the other, a project-based learning would be, how can we make our classroom activity where we throw these paper wads at each other be like the Alamo? Well, you don't front-end load any of that. First they have to figure out what the Alamo is, then they have to figure out why would paper wads be happening, and then how many people should be on each side of the room, and why would it be different, and why do you get tables and I don't get tables to set up, and things like that. So that's definitely a big difference between the two, not front-end loading and making sure the learning happens through the project.
And what makes project-based learning valuable in the classroom through the eyes of like an administrator?
Also a good question. For some administrators, it's hard because it's very messy. You know, if you walk into a project-based learning unit or a couple-week lesson, it can look very messy. It can be all over the place, and for teachers and for administrators, that can be hard. But the value comes in all of the softer executive skills, or in our school district, the EAGLE skills we call them, 21st century skills. Overall, it's the idea of collaboration happens, and it's really hard to make that happen in a traditional environment with traditional assignments. Problem solving, where you're not feeding the kids all the answers, but they're seeking to understand on their own. Critical thinking skills of how do we do certain things in a certain way, the collaboration of multiple students in a group and how they work together, all those soft skills that all employers are looking for is what you really want out of a lesson as much as possible, and you want your kids to be great citizens and work together and play nice in the sandbox. That happens through the learning of project-based learning. That's why most administrators that understand it and how it works really value it. Some people say you don't get enough of the content memorization knowledge and some of those things because project-based learning takes longer. To me, that's okay. I'll give up a few memorized facts for a better human being and somebody that can operate in this world and problem solve and work with others on a daily basis.
Thank you.